This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast.
All right, folks, this is Jonathan St. James, and once again, it is The Truth is Still Straight podcast. Thank you. All right. Now, before we start, I'm going to see if Sister Millie from the West Coast has something to say. Sister Millie from the West Coast, do you have anything to say?
Nah, B.
Okay. Sister Millie has nothing to say. All right. Before we get the show started, I got to thank everyone who supports the show. I can see now the algorithm is beating me up. And whether or not, I don't know if people don't want to see what's going on or just the algorithm is just not sending my video to people anymore, whatever the case may be. I still got to give a shout out to those who are listening and subscribing or watching, whatever you're doing. Sometimes I don't always listen. I don't always watch, but I do listen to various podcasts and videos. So without that stopping me, I will thank those who I know who are supporting. Those people are Pedro Falcone, Kenny Alpha, Sister Millie from the West Coast, Burundi Shao, Smile One Day, Jario, V, Mr. Wilkes, Milton Gonzalez, Snotty, Reggie, Courtney K. Law, Latoya Shilya, Michael Thomas, Darrell Big G Galloway, Sam T, James Wilson, Tyrone Biggs, Terrence Meir, JD Whitelaw, Julian Flournoy, Kid Vegas 8402, Eric Jordan, Michael McCreary, K Major, Kundalini Lee, Marcus A. Morris, Heath, 313 Money Team, Tashawn Howe, Steve Stowe, Marvin Banks, Anthony Perry, Nelson Fu, Luke Afsaf, Be Minded, TM Rowland, Flavor Sweet, Eric Jordan, Glenn Isaac, McTow Griffin, Soapbox Willie, Steve Apoku, Brian Lindeman, Jojo A. Go-Go, Big K, 3695, Still Sharp and Still, Stefan, Plug 2, Chaos Angel, Thomas Ford, Gary Leonard, Fidel Castro, Frank Atongfor, Marcus Renford, Cunha Z. Almighty, Krista Brown, Joe Fitt, Jonathan Pope, Corporate ENT, Wash Gamer, Dominic Volpe, 10 Lassie, Total Misdemeanor 75, Dan M. Amashek, Showtime, Michael Ray, Jay Wade, R.W. Lamont, Michelle Carlisle, Sandra Jones, Cobra Clutch, Chael Cole, AMD Sutherland, Day China, Salah Aldin, No Edit Vlog Philippines, George Stewart, Jane R. Lambert, Jose Garcia, Rada Submissive Wife, Lou Campos, Cosmic Funk Rabbit, Go Navy Beat Army, Cole Bush, and Live, Love, Plan, Pray. Thank you for the support. And I'm not going to complain. We will get to where we got to go with your support. Hopefully more people sign on. We can get this ball rolling. I would like to get into other topics, and hopefully we can do that someday. But until now, we do what we got to do. We're going to get to that Kevin Samuels right away. And then, of course, this is going to be a reaction to the December 14th, 2021 video. And the name of the video is Are Modern Women in Deep Trouble? And we're going to pick up at a conversation where Kevin is talking to a woman named Allay, something like that. And she's 25. And we're going to start into the conversation because the audio is a little bad in the beginning. Without further ado, let me set up the sound and get right into the discussion. Let's go.
All right.
Turn it down a little bit. We'll try to go there. So,
Okay.
how was this shock? Was this shocking?
No, not at all.
Really? It wasn't? None of this was new information to you?
No, it's not.
Are
It's
you
not
married?
new
Are you
information.
married? Are you single? What?
Nope.
I'm not married. I'm single.
Okay. Gloria, go ahead and come in. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Samuels. I'm good.
Good. So, how old are you?
I'm 38.
38. So, How goes it? Was
Oh
this shocking?
my.
Was this news, new information?
Um, Not really.
Did you
LA
know
doesn't
how
last
deep your
very long.
pool was?
Actually, yes, because once upon a time I was a single mother,
Uh-huh.
and I knew that I didn't really have a lot of options. So I pursued a gentleman, and we later got married.
Okay.
Now, before we get into the LA conversation, I wanted to leave Gloria on here because I thought it was pretty interesting that she spoke. Being married and she doesn't last long because Kevin typically, when it comes to certain topics, doesn't really talk to married women on here because he feels like when it's off topic, that it sort of takes away from the discussion he's trying to have, bridging men and women together in terms of women who are looking for men and men who are looking for women and women who are looking for the high value man. And, that's not always the same conversation, but certainly similar. And I was looking today, and I noticed one thing. I noticed that women like Gloria here, there are guys who are into that look. There's a style, a certain style that's not generally accepted by men in general, but there are guys who do like women that are on the side or on the flavor of Gloria. So the good thing that she said is she pursued. That's usually half the battle, as they say on knowing is half the battle in GI Joe, but approaching a man is half the battle in finding a man. Keeping him and keeping him interested, not the same thing as finding one, but it is doable when you're looking for that person. All right, I talk too much. Let's go.
Cool. You're married now?
Yes, I've been married for almost 4 years.
Cool. Any children?
Yes, I have a 13-year-old son.
Not from him.
Okay. So, Elaine, coming back to
Yes.
you. Do you want to get married one day?
I don't.
Huh?
Nah, B.
You don't?
I don't.
You
No.
want children?
No.
Okay. So, what brings you to the broadcasting?
I'm honestly you. I discovered you a couple weeks ago, and I just think you are one of the most fascinating people. I've had the pleasure to snoop
Definitely
around your
fascinating.
videos and sort of discover what your philosophy is about women. And honestly, as a person who doesn't want to get married or have kids, I've been trying to see if your belief system has any place in my life, and if whether I can really use any of that to my advantage.
How dare
I
you?
wouldn't say necessarily that I'm looking for a high value man. I think that your definition of that is very stringent.
Not his definition.
However, I will say that people that are on trajectory to be in that position, I have come into contact with throughout my life as a young adult woman, and I I feel kind of bad for some of the women that come on this channel looking for guys like that because after encountering so many of them, not ballers and entertainers, but people that go on to be investment bankers at JP Morgan or people that are, making north of 150 working at Microsoft, they aren't really all that special. When you take away the money factor from them, they're not really
Okay.
giving.
Okay. Hold on. Now we're gonna have
Yeah.
a problem. You say they're not all that special. Now there are women.
Yeah, I agree.
So why should a men have to be special if y'all aren't? They're just people.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. People come on the show and they seem to be
No, hold on.
there's this idea. Yeah.
Hold on. You can have your opinion, but
Mhm.
careful because people can have their opinion about you too. You don't want to get married, you don't want to have children. Are you going to be able to take care of yourself through your end years, through your income?
I'm going to stop there because he gets into that conversation. But I'm really not understanding why this woman even called Kevin. I think it's just she wanted to start trouble. Because here's the thing: you're 25 years old, no kids, don't want to have kids, don't want to get married. Where does that leave you? What kind of man do you find that doesn't want to have kids, doesn't want to get married, but what do you want from the man? It sounds like already she's self-sabotaging herself. And I do know a specific person just like that. I know two women like that. And I know one that she's around 29 or 30 or something like that. And she says that she don't want to get married, she don't want to have kids, whatever. Then when you confront her on not having a man, she says, "Who told you that?" But I digress. And the other one, she was married. Something happened with her husband. Don't want to get married again. But then, what is it that you expect from men that you meet? I just don't know. If I'm a man single and available, why would I be with a woman or why would I take a woman seriously? Doesn't want to settle down, because usually in those situations, you're looking for something else, and it's not necessarily me.
You know,
Did you go to
hopefully
college? Did you go to college?
I did. Yeah,
Did you graduate?
I did. Yeah.
What's your degree?
Well, I went and got my bachelor's, and I got that in neuroscience, and now I have a master's in public health.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Um,
Well, it's
at the
master's.
top of your career, how much
She
do
don't
you
get it.
expect to make annually?
I know some people that do make somewhere around 300. Some folks make more depending on if the directors of, independent
So
firms.
by the time you're 65 years old, will you have your $2.4 million cash to retire on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my.
If you have your 2.4 million to retire on, then you don't need anybody. But presumably, if you live a reasonably healthy life, but depending upon your health, you may need much more than that for in-home care and all the other kind of stuff. Most people,
Absolutely.
the Western world is not set up for individuals to live their entire
Well,
life.
America. Sorry,
I
don't mean
said
to
the
interrupt.
Western world. America is not just the West. It's not set up in Canada. It's not Canada. It's not set up in Korea, Japan, the UK.
Well, I wouldn't consider Korea and Japan the West.
So you see, she didn't listen to what he said. And it's funny because I did watch this video, this portion here, and he doesn't say that Korea and Japan are the West. He said it's not just, he says it's not he said it's not set up just in the West. So when he talks about the Western countries, he talks about other countries that is not set up that way, including the West. And I'm just gonna say, though, I don't know what kind of background she has and family and stuff like that, but I'll tell you one thing: the older you get, the more you rely on people. And I know a lot of people who don't really have a lot of friends, at least that will cater to them in need, in terms of like going back and forth to medical appointments. If you're in the hospital, they're going to be your healthcare proxy. And I just talked to somebody about that, trying to figure out who's going to be the healthcare proxy for her when she is in trouble. And she couldn't really think of anybody. Didn't really have a lot of friends that she could choose from that would run back and forth to the hospital, make medical decisions, be power of attorney, and things like that. So it's, like he said, if you're in great health, it doesn't matter. But if you get old and you get sick, which most people do as they get older, you need help. You need more medical assistance. The older you get, it's not uncommon. And when you have no one, it's hard to share the load, even if you have no one and have no children, which she claims to not want either. She doesn't want a husband and she doesn't want any kids.
Western world.
Democracy.
Okay.
Where in the world is it set up for individuals to live life to the end of days on average income?
I'm not super familiar with
It's
elder
not.
care.
It's not. It's not because it's a payer system. And see, the problem is if most women earn less than men because they choose professions that are different. So if you're not going to have a man in your life, fine, but you need to make as much as a man plus some, because someone's going to have to take care of you in your age years, and you won't be extended family, you won't be your children, and the damn sure can't be the government because
Exactly.
that's just other people.
Exactly.
So conversely, when you say men that are a certain caliber or a certain income aren't that special, why should they have to be special? They just have to be men.
That's right.
Well, I guess that kind of goes into what I've kind of taken away from your shows and your programs. It's I think what you're trying to do is advocate for people to find people on their level, right? And I absolutely agree with that 10,000%. But I do think that there's a narrative being pushed that because a man has money, and I think you agree with this, that they're going to be of a caliber in other areas
No,
of
it
their
doesn't.
life. And like you're
No, it
saying, like
doesn't.
they're
No,
just
it
going to
doesn't.
be
No, it
men.
doesn't. No, it
That's
doesn't. No, it doesn't. I do not do that. No, it doesn't.
okay.
I
She
don't,
doesn't.
no, see, that's bullshit.
She doesn't really pay
Oh.
attention.
If you, okay, you say what I define as a high value man. What does that mean? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do I define
Uh,
as a high value man?
okay. Well, first you say that somebody who's been making a certain income, I think it's usually, um, I don't know if you have a specific number. I don't remember if you have a specific number. I feel like it changes.
Don't pay attention.
But usually above six figures. They've been doing that for 2 to 3 years consistently, and usually men that are below 30 don't qualify as high value men. Additionally, these are
What?
supposed to be men that have character and ethics and morals. I think you have like a DIME acronym, if I'm not
Mhm.
incorrect. Um, Clearly, I don't remember all that it stands for. But
Should have wrote it down.
additionally, you say that high value men have options. They're looking for a young woman who's beautiful, who's willing to be
And I've never said
submissible.
anything about a young woman.
No, he
No?
didn't.
No. See, what you've shown
Oh,
is you don't.
sorry.
You
A
mixing
beautiful
okay,
woman
man.
then.
What I say,
Hmm.
what other people say are two different things. A high value man is not my definition. I didn't make up the term high value man, and I didn't come up with six figures. Women came up with that number back in 1985. That's what women said they wanted. A
Mm-hmm.
man who's making six figures, $10,000 a month or more, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Austin dollars, adjusted for your cost of living. He's been making it for 3 to 5 years. He has a network of high value men and other people. High value men
Right.
recognize
You
him
missed that.
here. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing something that's at LinkedIn level, a level of visibility, and he's useful to others in a group. So I think men like that are highly useful and highly effective anywhere you put them.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you say they're not all that
But
special,
actually,
they
let
are
me caveat.
special.
When you say highly
They
useful and
are,
highly
they are,
effective,
they are.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, how would somebody like that not be special? Let's keep it real. So someone, okay, maybe someone not making $100,000 because a lot of people can do that. Let's just say, let's just for argument's sake, let's just say more people can earn $100,000 and let's say 200, 300. But if somebody's earning 300,000 or 400 or half a million, what kind of person do you think that is? Do you think that's like a guy that's flipping burgers with no personality? That guy has done pretty something amazing to be making that kind of income, whether he's a doctor, some kind of lawyer, some type of CEO or entrepreneur or something like that, has a business, something along those effects. Because you're not earning that money just like being somebody who sits in the basement in your underwear eating Doritos and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure how she uh, doesn't understand the value that men bring, not because they make the money, but because of the things that they've done to make the money. And that's just, she doesn't understand that. And I'm glad that Kevin sort of brought that out there.
Special because they
uh-huh.
are extremely useful and valuable.
Right.
Okay. And what capacity exactly?
Because they're useful.
No, like as partners, as community leaders, as
I don't
people in the
care.
workforce.
That's the problem. They're useful to others in the group. They outperform their reach. They do more than just themselves. That's what increases their value. You know who determines their value? The rest of the world. The rest of the world says these men are more valuable than those men. That doesn't mean you have to like them. That doesn't mean they
Exactly.
have to tickle your fancy. That mean they got to be special. And honestly, I prefer a world where men didn't have to be so damn special. When men could just be men. That's probably the
Mhm.
problem today. You ladies want men to be everything plus high value and everything else and this and that, and y'all ain't that. Ain't none of
I think
what
women do try to be that, though. Do you
no, they
not agree
don't.
with
Really, if they did, then why
No.
are men really justify that by the women who are complaining about the state of dating and relationships and judge that based on the very men that these women say they want and what these men are asking for and what they're getting.
Are you basing that solely on the people that come onto your show, or
Ma'am,
because I feel like when
due respect,
I feel
ma'am,
like the women that
do
come
you
onto your
think I
show
just,
typically
I mean, are you
Mhm.
being silly? Are you being, I mean, 52 years old and I've been around a hell of a lot longer than this show. This show is
Right.
not a cross section of my life. It's a show.
Right.
But in my day to day, anyway, how long have you been watching my program?
2 weeks.
a couple of weeks, but I've been
Okay,
binging.
well,
It's
you're really not
so
really
much.
qualified to talk about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She binge
But
watched
But
you know,
I
probably.
haven't just been watching the shows that you've put out in the last couple of weeks.
well,
I've
if
been
you know
looking at
anything
your
about who I
career
am,
for
you would
the
know
last
better. If you know anything about
years.
who I am, if you know
She
anything
loves
about
to
who I
hear her
am,
voice.
you would know this show is more than just that. But at the end of the day, my exception with you is when you came in and started talking about men at this level, they're not all that special. Neither, and why should they be? Women at that level aren't that special either. Why does anybody have to be special?
Mm.
Disney.
I think being special,
Mm.
maybe that wasn't, I don't know if I
Mm. Right. Good point. Good point that he made right there. That's an excellent point because what is special and how many people that you find that's going to fit into the mold of all these things and be special, right? Because special, that's a very subjective word that people look for. And there's a common denominator for what special people would have. But then once you get out of the common denominator, those are personal attributes to an individual that you're looking for a relationship. So you're saying this person has to have these things and be special. And that's kind of what she's alluding to. I didn't watch this far into the video, so I'm not sure if before this conversation finishes, which it does, if she actually says it. But that is what Kevin is pointing out. He says that women like her say these things, but the reality of it is that you want somebody to be something that you generally aren't. You're looking for somebody to be like something you generally aren't, but they have to have the requirements for them to be special for you. Well, 9 times out of 10, you're not special to them. So it's almost over. I'll try to let it play through.
use that word, but I think it just
It
means
wasn't a
that.
positive thing to say about men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll say that. It wasn't the nicest thing
Then
to
why the
say.
fuck would you come over here and say that?
Right.
Why would I come up? Because I feel
Yes,
like
why would you come on a men's show and say that men aren't special and
Mm-hmm.
expect me just
it's
to
a
allow
men's
that
show
shit to
because you
slide?
always open it up to women. So I feel like
Well,
your
that's
demographic. I
reasonable.
actually
Why
don't
would
know
you
what
come
your
over to a men's
demographic
show and say the men aren't special? Why would you come on to a
is.
men's show and say men aren't special when you don't even want a man?
I'm saying they inherently aren't special because they have money. I'm saying that the character of the like
Why
you
does
can
it?
find a person with
Let
good
me ask you
quality
this, man.
character and they're not making that kind
Why
of
does it
money.
matter to you anyway if you don't want a husband or children? What does it matter
Right.
if men are special or
Oh,
not?
because I still intend to date. And so because I still intend to date, it's nice to find people that are on my level that
On your level, what does
um
that mean? Pretentious?
sorry?
Huh? What does that mean?
Stupid.
Who have similar interests, similar education
I'm a PhD.
background, similar qualities, similar
When was
Like
your
what?
longest
morals.
relationship?
It was like 18 months, somewhere around there.
I
How
knew
long
it was
ago
gonna
was
be
that?
like that.
That was in college. So I did that
Wow.
like 4. It ended around 4 years ago.
That's a
Okay. So you just plan on dating.
she just getting laid.
Yeah.
And
And I wanted to sort of also pick your brain about that.
just dating, that's fine. That's a modern lifestyle. As long as you don't make children, but
Yeah.
you know, enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But then you don't need anybody other than just to have fun with. Why does it
That's
need to be
right.
on a certain level if you're not going to really do anything other than with, if you're not going to partner with anybody long term, if you're just going to date?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good point.
because dating is a wonderful experience. You get to learn about
Really?
someone else's views
How
on
old are you
life,
again?
their
How old are you again?
culture.
How old are you
25.
again?
25.
Yeah, you sound like a fool.
Thank you. Why is that?
Wait till you're 40 years old. I want you to go poll 40-year-old women to see how wonderful dating is.
That is why I wanted to ask
No,
you,
you
like,
didn't.
what is the dating scene for older women? Because it sounds like when they go
Human beings
out,
are
from what
women.
I've seen on your show, which
Okay,
is also kind of why I've
then
been.
you need to listen.
Sorry?
Uh, no one, the human beings aren't really. There shouldn't be a dating scene over 40.
No.
That's not how it's, young lady.
No.
Human beings are usually meant to couple up.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at how countries are organized. I just said, how are you going to pay for yourself after retirement? If you know you're going to make enough money to cover all of your needs to the end of days, that puts you in an infinitesimally small group of people. This world is set up for man, woman, get together, children,
Have
benefit,
children.
benefit, state, grow. It's not meant for individual here to live life as single people, not reproduce, take your resources, die. The world dies that way. It's not set
Can I
up.
ask a question though?
You can listen.
I don't
You
think.
can listen. You can listen because you, your age after 25, the social scene dries up. The
Mm-hmm.
ability to date becomes extremely concentrated and shrinks. If you were watching the lady who I had on here earlier, 27 years old, she can't find anyone to date because she didn't go to college. There is no effective dating scene at 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then, but I don't think fear of, like, I don't think having a family just so I could potentially have someone who's going to cater to me is reason enough. Like, I work
I don't
in
care. You asked about
healthcare,
the
I
dating
work with
scene.
people that
The
are on
bottom line
Medicare and
is, ma'am,
Medicaid,
it
and
doesn't
so
matter.
many of them. I'm
Ma'am,
sorry, Mr. Samus, can I get my point
it
across, please?
doesn't.
I am talking.
It,
What? I think this is the end of the video for her right here. Let's see.
don't come over here with that shit. You can talk all you want to. This is my show. If I want to overtalk you, I'll overtalk you. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to hear what a 25-year-old with an opinion has to say. What the fuck you think that applies?
How
It's
dare
good that you
you?
plan to be
I
by
told you
yourself.
that was it for her. Oh wow. Incredible. Let me tell you, that was incredible because she just couldn't find herself just to listen. She, as you see, she just really wanted to get her point across. Didn't want to do anything else but get her point across. And that's pretty sad because she'll take nothing away from the show. I can guarantee that. I bet you we could find her right now. And it's a little more than 6 months since Kevin has passed, and I can guarantee that she hasn't she hasn't learned anything since then, and it's very unfortunate. But she'll figure it out sooner or later. Oh no, she's still there. Hold on, she's still there. Let's see if he allows her to speak. Let's see if he allows her to continue talking. No, she's not talking yet. But let's go back to what he was saying. Let me rewind this. I didn't realize because he was. Let's go back.
It's good that you plan to be by yourself.
Let's see if he lets
You
us
can
speak.
sit over there right where you belong. I'm talking.
Let's see if he
Oh
lets us.
my
I asked
God.
politely. I did ask
Yeah.
politely.
Hey, look here,
But
look
can
here.
I
If
ask
I
a
put you,
question?
if I put you on mute, if I put you on mute, I put you on mute for a reason. Because I don't know where you normally go, but
I
over
want to see how
here,
this ends up.
this is the show. You don't overtalk the host.
Let's see if she says
You can
anything
ask a
else.
question. That's cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, I was watching another one of your shows, and it was a young woman. I think she's around 28, and she said, I don't want kids. I need kids because I don't want to die alone. And you sort of berated her that entire segment, saying
I don't
that's
know what
not
show you
a good
talk.
reason to want
What's the
kids.
question? I don't know what's the question. I don't want your
The
education.
question is it good? Is this concern, right? This concern of care when you're older reason enough to have children?
I don't know, ma'am. I don't. Why don't you? Why? What are you asking me? Are you asking me about what I said to that woman? Because I don't trust your recollection. Because you couldn't even recall
Mm-hmm.
what you said on high
Mm-hmm.
value man was. So I don't. When you say my parameters were stringent, you didn't even recall that even
Right.
partially. Yeah, 2 or 3 elements of something that's much deeper. So I don't trust your recollection. What
Right.
is your ultimate question?
My ultimate question is the desire to be cared for when you're older reason enough to have children?
Is it for you?
For me, if you were gonna say that, if I was asking, I'm
Don't know
asking you.
I don't know
For me.
you. I don't know you.
Okay.
I don't know you. But from what I'm seeing right now, no. What I'm seeing right now is modern woman who thinks I guess you're going to have enough to take care of yourself. But I will tell you this, young lady, um, I'm not really big on this world is about people and relationships matter more than things. There are
It
plenty of
does.
people who have made men and women who've made far more money than you will ever see in your
Mm-hmm.
lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't look for that money at the end. Their life is about your relationships, the richness of them, your utility to other people. And at 25, it sounds wonderful to I'll just be single and make money and travel and this and that. Yes, but that's not how the world is. You look at how many 40-year-old women said the same thing at 25, and they come to this show week in and week out
Mm-hmm.
looking, I wish I would have done something different then.
I
Matter of fact,
don't.
I probably got text messages from women who calling right now saying, I wish
I
I
was
could
gonna
talk
say
to that
that.
young lady because she's making a mistake. But I'm not going to try to tell somebody who believes they understand everything.
Good point.
If you know you, if this is truly what you want and you're self-aware, then live that life. But you need to be prepared to deal with all the consequences. Meaning you're prepared to take care of all
Mm-hmm.
your care, all your
Everything.
quality of life, everything. And if that's
Celebrate
the
yourself.
case, your life is yours to live just like anyone else's. But what I balked is when you started talking about what the men were. You'll never be able to come over onto a men's show talking shit about what men are when I
Mm.
don't think women like yourself are all that special either. And probably the guys would say you're not as special because you're not supposed to be special. You're just supposed to be human.
Hmm.
I'd love to track her down. I'd love to track her down. All right, folks. I don't know if there's any more after that, but it's sort of going around in circles, this conversation. And I want to close out this show. We've been here long enough. It was a pretty interesting conversation, but I know people on both sides of the spectrum. I know someone beginning at 25 like that. And I know some in the 40 range, 40, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and talking like that. And let me tell you, the 49 years old, no joke, 48 years old, no joke, really feeling the burn of not finding that person when they had a better opportunity, better chance, more options to pick somebody that would choose them for marriage, if that makes sense. All right, folks. So we're about to get up out of here. Let me get these braces going and then we'll be done. Relationship braces. Bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 25-year-old Allay, who wants no husband or no kids. What could I possibly tell you to get you to understand and actually be at the place you want to be? Well, I really don't have anything to tell you because I don't think you'd even listen. But if you did listen, Kevin gave you some good points. I mean, part of having kids is leaving a legacy behind, leaving your family tree, your bloodline to continue beyond your years of existence. And so many people are killing their family trees left and right. So, if you want to talk about being special, those are the things that make you special. A desire for a man or a woman, that's what you want, to see you and want to spend their life with you and have a family with you. And those are the braces. All right, folks, we're at the end of this show. I'm not sure how long this lasted, but hopefully it wasn't too unbearable for you in terms of time. I know people, they like things short and sweet, as I try to be. With that being said, this is Jonathan St. James. And once again, the Truth is Still Straight podcast.